So it's that time of the month again. We're going to be doing what I watched in April. I have a pretty good stack here. I got a lot of movies that I checked out. Actually, I did quite a few rewatches this month, and I think that has a lot to do with picking up some special editions for some films that I'd already seen or owned in 4K. But first, I'm going to start with the DVDs, the Blu-rays, and then my special piles. So first up, let's talk about two documentaries that I watched. First up being Wrinkles the Clown. I actually wanted to check this out. I remember seeing something about it a little bit ago when the whole clown craze was going on. And this one was okay. It wasn't what I expected it to be, but it did have sort of a nice twist to it, which I won't say anything else. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. And then I watched multiple documentaries. Hang on. Let me get the other one. I'll talk about this one last. Then I watched Cropsey. This was another interesting one. I'm going to probably listen to more about Cropsey, like on YouTube and stuff, just because I feel like there's more to it. This is still a good documentary. I want to know more. But if you don't, I actually think that Cropsey inspired the killing from the movie The Burning, which I think is pretty interesting. And then Capturing the Friedmans. This is, if you have not seen this, I would highly recommend checking it out, because if you've ever seen Dear Zachary, A Letter to a Son About His Father, I wouldn't say this is as intense as that one, but this one is crazy. This one is crazy. I'm also going to check out The Jinx soon. I really want to check it out. There's just something, I love documentaries. I don't know why. It's just, of course I do know why. It's because they're awesome. But definitely give this one a watch if you can. I've actually had this in my movie pile for a while, actually a long time. And I'm glad it was one that my wife had recommended. So yeah, this one was really good. Gurazuka, Gurazuka, I think that's how you say it. I was looking up the top foreign slasher films. Because I wanted to know, and this was one of them that popped up. I'm actually going to watch Cold Prey soon. I actually was not the biggest fan of this. Excuse me, I was not the biggest fan of this. The Killer, they look cool, but I had a hard time getting into it. Peter Jackson's Heavenly Creatures. This one was actually cool. I like this one. This one was it had a lot of, honestly, I feel like this movie, with its editing and its camera movements, its cinematography, this movie was just a big flex, which at times, I'm not gonna lie, I usually don't get annoyed by camera movements. I was kind of getting annoyed. It was just, it was so flashy, which I don't have a problem with that, of course, but it just, I don't know, it was almost like, look at this, and then just like boom, 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 right in your face. But it's cool to check out something that's not Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or King Kong from Peter Jackson. I'm going to check out, I actually have not seen a lot of his films. I've not seen Bad Taste. I've not seen The Feebles, I think. And then The Frighteners. I have all of his films. I just haven't seen, his earlier work. So, this was a watch. I love French extremity films. There's going to be another one that I talk about in this list, but you have Inside, you have Martyrs. This film is gnarly. This film is like super gnarly. This film is crazy. Definitely, if you're squeamish, don't watch it. But I had a good time with it for what it was. It was a nice, short, quick film. It was cool. It was a little messed up. But we like messed up. So I've actually not seen Searching, but I watched Missing. I didn't get a chance to see this in theaters. This one was fun. I enjoyed it. I felt like it was sort of predictable at times. But yeah, I enjoyed this type of film, the desktop film or what have you. But yeah, it's worth the watch, I think. And then Devil's Pass. This one is so good. I love this film. I remember watching it on Netflix a long time ago. There was like a bundle of films that I remember watching when Netflix first came out, like Paranormal Entity, Devil's Pass, Dead End. I forget, there was another film that I watched on Netflix. I think Satan's Little Helper was one of them. But yeah, this is it's a found footage film about the Dyatlov Pass. It has its moments for sure. I'm actually a bigger fan. I'm a big fan of the before the end, if that if you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. The last third of this film is definitely crazy. but I really like the events leading up to it. This is directed by Rennie Harlan, which I think is pretty funny. Now we're moving on to the Blu-rays. Essential Killing. This is from Jerzy Skolimski. I'm gonna have to learn how to pronounce that because I'm gonna be talking about him a lot with EO and Moonlighting. You know, but this is the first film I've ever seen by him. You know, 85 minutes. It definitely it flew by at times. Like when it first started, it was like, and then it sort of dipped down a little bit. I think this is controversial because you're actually following. This is set, you know, in the. I'm assuming the Afghanistan war because it's about an Afghanistan soldier, Muhammad, and he's captured by the U.S. military. So you're definitely seeing it from another perspective. Yeah, and I could definitely see why this would be controversial, especially in the States. But I have an open mind. I'll really watch anything, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Living. This is a remake of Akiru. I already talked about this, so if you guys want to check out my video about Akiru and Living, you can definitely do so. Fireproof. This was a film that my wife wanted to watch for her birthday. I enjoyed it. I mean, you know, it's a lower budget film. It is a religious film. I don't get to see many of those types of films, but I enjoyed it. You know, it was good. I mean, it had its moments. You know, it had some parts that I wasn't really, you know, I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. There's actually one scene in the film, though, that involves a train and somebody's helmet. And I just wonder how they did it. I mean, it looks pretty real. I don't want to say, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to watch it or not. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, did they actually do that, or was there some sort of special effect in play? Next up is Blood Harvest. Now, actually, the reason why I got this is because when I was playing High on Life, you can actually watch this film. It's on the TV. You can watch the full movie, I believe. And it sort of piqued my interest, so I ended up buying it. Needless to say, I was not the biggest fan of this. And it's funny because it has Tiny Tim in this, and he's the guy that I think sings the Tiptoed by the Window song that's in Insidious, I believe. So yeah, I mean, that's cool, and I like Vinegar Syndrome releases. Another French Extremity, High Tension. I enjoyed this film a lot. I seriously did. It's very atmospheric. You know, it really did suck me into its world. The only issue, there's a lot of plot holes with this film. Don't argue with me. This film has fucking plot holes up the ass, but I still enjoyed it. Cocaine Bear. I actually saw this in theaters, but I picked up the Blu-ray. This was, you know, it's a fun time. I mean, it's Cocaine Bear. You get what you get with Cocaine Bear. Your Name. This one is fun. I watched this with my 1-year-old son. He loves colors, so he'll watch animated films. I enjoyed it. I don't watch a lot of Japanese animated films. I do have a pretty decent collection in my back pile that I'm checking out. But I'm slowly getting into sort of Japanese animated films. I'm not too big into it. Like, I'm not extreme, like I'm not like an anime fan by any means, but I do enjoy like Studio Ghibli films and films like this from this particular director. But yeah, I plan on watching, I think it's Weathering with You soon. First Man from Damien Chazelle. Enjoy this film a lot. I like how it's shot. You know, of course, Ryan Gosling is great in this. I love anything that's like, that has to do with space from a realistic standpoint. I don't know why. I find it entertaining, and watching this really makes me want to go back and watch Apollo 13. Since we're on the topic of space, 2001: A Space Odyssey. I showed this to my friends for the first time. The 4K is gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, there's no, what else can you say about this? I mean, Kubrick, I remember the first time that I watched this years ago, I was blown away by it, and watching it, you know, I mean, again, throughout the years, every single time I see like the Stargate sequence or the beginning with the apes, you know, the Dawn of Man, I love this film so much, and I think I'm just going to straight up just do Stanley Kubrick rank next after this, because it's been a long time coming. But yeah, I mean, if you've not seen this, which I'm pretty sure you have, this is definitely the version to go with. Infinity Pool. This is another one that I watched in theaters, and I I can't even talk. It's late. But bought the Blu-ray. I'm a big fan of Brian. See, I can't talk. Brandon Cronenberg. So yeah. Definitely he's got his, I like it. He's got his own style. He's got his own vision. You know, it's definitely hard because he is the son of David Cronenberg, which those are some big shoes to fill, but I don't think they're shoes that he needs to fill. You know, he's his own filmmaker, and it's a pretty interesting premise. I enjoyed watching it in theaters. I don't think this is the uncut version, though. I don't know when the uncut version is going to come out, but honestly, when it comes to Possessor, the last film that he made, there was the uncut version and then there was the rated R version. I don't think there was that big of a difference between those, so I don't know, who knows. Noah, we watched this on Easter. Darren Aronofsky, this film is, I enjoyed it. I mean, you know, it's entertaining. There's some things about it that I thought were pretty silly, but you know, it is what it is. Alps, Yorgos Lanthimos. I like the last half of this film compared to the first half. I love Yorgos Lanthimos. He's one of my favorite directors working today. I love The Lobster. I love Killing of a Sacred Deer. I love The Favorite. I love Dogtooth. So I have not checked his first film out, Kinetic, I think, or Kinetica. I have it. But yeah, you know, this one is what it is. It seems like it's honestly, it feels like a more watered down version of Dogtooth. If that makes sense. Like, I mean, of course, it's not the same premise or story, but, you know, compared to his other stuff, I wasn't really the biggest fan, but it's not a horrible film. I will say it has a pretty interesting premise. I will say that. Next up, The Lodge. I actually really enjoy this. This is from the directors, I think, of Goodnight Mommy, which is another good film. So if you've seen that, you know what you're getting yourself into with this. This film really, I mean, in terms of cinematography and the way it's shot, it actually did remind me of a Kubrick film. Just because, just the lighting itself, like when I was watching it, I mean, it really did. I mean, I'm not even just saying that, it really did. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I'd never seen it before, so, you know, it was good. Next up, we're talking about two Umbrella, what is it? What is it? I think it's Umbrella. Yeah, Umbrella Entertainment. Let's just talk about this one first. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You know, I mean, it had its moments. It's fucking silly, but I had fun with it, if that makes sense. I did have fun with it, and I would like to see maybe like a trilogy of these films, you know, because we still need to get Tigger, what else, Roo. You know, I want the whole Pooh Bear gang in this. So yeah, I say screw it. Just make a trilogy of them and just let me watch them. You know, I mean, this isn't something, look, you don't go into this film taking it serious. You can't. But still, you know, I'm pretty sure it ruined my wife's childhood, even though it's already passed, but you know, still. And then The Tunnel. I really love this film. This was great. You know, I'm a big fan of found footage films. I've said this before. I feel like found footage is, I feel like it's the one sort of subgenre or just genre in general that we've not taken advantage of. We've not reached the full potential of found footage, I believe. And I love found footage. I feel like it's one of the most important, like I said, genres of filmmaking today. I'm serious. I really do enjoy found footage, and this one's good. This one's creepy. You know, it hits all the beats right. I mean, it's paced very well. I would highly recommend checking this one out. This is the Umbrella release, and I think this is probably your best bet, especially if you're region free. And now we're going to look at these special editions. I love these. It's just beautiful, this whole stack. I'm going to talk about some Andrzej Zulawski. I cannot wait to do my ranked for him. Unfortunately, the Eureka release for his Polish trilogy got delayed, which I'm very sad about. But The Public Woman. Zulawski knows how to do his romance films, and I'm not going to talk about this one because I'm going to do a ranked. So, but just know I watched it. So I like Zulawski a lot. I have a few Criterions here. So let me get these real quick. Picnic at Hanging Rock. I've actually seen this before. I watched the Criterion. This is the director's cut. I'm going to talk about it again here in a second from Second Sight. But I enjoy Picnic at Hanging Rock. I do think I like the director's cut better than the theatrical cut. I just feel like it's paced better. And it's one of those rare instances where the director's cut is shorter than the theatrical cut, which I find to be funny. Triangle of Sadness. I love this film. I didn't get a chance to see it when it first came out, but I did watch it when it came out on digital. Yeah, I'm glad this got a Criterion release. Actually kind of crazy that it did, but very deserving. Kiru. Not going to talk about this. You can check out my Kiru and Living video if you guys want to. And The Ice Storm by Ang Lee. This is, I really do enjoy suburban films, like Little Children, In the Bedroom, Ordinary People, The Ice Storm, Happiness, American Beauty. I love films like that. I really do. And this one is set in the 70s. It's from Ang Lee, the guy that directed Life of Pi, Brokeback Mountain, Taking Woodstock. What is it? What's the other one called? Sense and Sensibility. You know, Ang Lee is a terrific director, and this is a great film. One of the best suburban films that I've seen. I classify them as suburban. I guess that's what you call them. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're technically dramas, but still. And then I checked out the Midsummer's Director's Cut, which if you guys want to check out my video that I made for it, definitely check it out. This is a really cool release from A24. And here is David Bowie, The Man That Fell to Earth. I like this. I had issues with it. It's not like the best film that I've ever seen, but it was entertaining. It really was. It was an entertaining film. It grabbed my attention. The 4K is beautiful. Really cool edition. I actually had another Steelbook pre-ordered from the United Kingdom, but I actually opted for this one because I just thought it looked cooler and it was cheaper. Came from Best Buy, and yeah. Now, Second Sight. George Romero's Martin. This film was, I had a lot of fun with it, and it's nice to see a George Romero film that's not about zombies. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The 4K, it looks good. I'm going to say this film didn't really need a 4K. I mean, you know, it's obviously a plus, but yeah, I mean, it's good. You know, I enjoyed it. I mean, it definitely didn't beat Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead's my favorite George Romero film, but I had fun. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have nothing else to say about this film. I made a video about this one recently. This is my favorite film ever made. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have so many editions. The Second Sight release is absolutely stunning. Yeah, definitely check it out. And last but not least, Picnic at Hanging Rock. I watched the theatrical version not long ago, and it was good. I just feel like it's definitely slower paced, you know, because it is 2 hours long compared to the hour and 47-minute version, I believe, the director's cut. But this is probably one of the best releases I've ever seen. The Second Sight is absolutely killing it. Yeah, I'm serious. The last couple of months for physical media have been just absolutely stunning. I mean, everything that's came out almost. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. If you want to donate to our independent film Pesadilla, links down in the description below. Hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll see you guys next time.